su personalidad desde que era chiquito, él como que tenía un ángel desde pequeño. Todo el mundo lo quería. Las maestras, sus amigos, él iba a un restaurante o cualquier sitio y era algo como que él tenía de él, o sea, era algo como que venía en él.
It was just another day and I'd happened to have a longboard in my truck, and when he saw it, he wanted to use it, you know, he wanted to go down the hill with it and all that, so from that moment, he just saw it, he went for it, and, you know, that's it.
He hit too very strong in his head and didn't know if he can breathe good, and they prefer to put the tube in. Then they have to put in terapia intensiva because they have to do a scan. I asked the doctor what happened, why did you don't do the scan right now, and say we have to wait like 2 hours to see if they, because we're giving some medication and maybe
The swelling.
yes.
Yeah.
But they did the scan, but the inflammation was growing. At 3 o'clock in the morning, he got in coma. And the nurse called the doctor, but she said that, you know, he's not going to live.
Loved ones say they did not expect such a large turnout, that there were so many people who wanted to attend that they had to get the mayor involved, but it just shows how many lives Max touched.
Max was an interesting young man. He was big, he was tall, he was broad-shouldered, but yet there was a gentle side to Max. You put him on a soccer field, he'll go through somebody, but yet he'll then turn around, give him a helping hand to get up. Off the field, Max had a great sense of humor. There were many times where Max was at our house, so I got to see Max on the field, off the field, and really relaxing off the field. And he really is a great kid. It's part of his upbringing. His brother, his sister, his mom, his family. It's just, you could see Max was brought up the right way, and he was a fun-loving young man.
By the final of 1-0. Our player of the game, only man who found the back of the net today, David Corridor, senior for Cypress Bay. David, you guys endured a really gut-wrenching loss in the state semifinals last year. What does it mean to get back to the final and win it again?
It means the world to us, honestly. Last year we lost in the last 20 seconds and it was heartbreaking. And coming into this year, we told them we're going to do it for you guys. We have unfinished business, and this is what we did. We won it for them, we won it for our brother up there, and for us, obviously, we're a family.
As a player, he was kind of like how he was a person. He was outgoing, always on the move, and resilient. He wouldn't give up. He was by far the most resilient and would try the hardest. So in these times, coaches will tend to drift to players like that instead of players that are just naturally gifted but are not going to put in the work. So.
And how long did you have Max? How long were you coaching him?
I had him from he was a freshman. So I had him from he was in 9th grade. He made the team. He was ecstatic. He made the team. He did really well. The next year he came back. He did pretty good. We got knocked out. We didn't achieve our goal. The year that he passed away, he got tough beat, and that's when he made up his mind. He's like, it's going to be my senior year. That was his junior year. It's going to be my senior year. We lost in the last 20 seconds of a state championship game the year before, and he made up his mind. He's like, I have to win this game. This whole season is dedicated to last season. So he made his goals, set them, and I remember one game, it was a tough game. I was putting him in to make a difference. The game was a little bit chippy. I said, Max, I'm begging you. I know how you are when you go on this field. Don't get a card. And he said, Coach, I got you. And the first play, as he went on the field, the game was a little bit chippy, as I said. But that was just him. He was protecting his teammates. And the first play, he clapped another kid, yellow card right away. He came and he said, Coach, I'm sorry. But I knew why he did it, and I just let it go.
Did you see a lot of potential in him as a player, and where he could have taken his career in soccer?
Yeah, he was one of those kids that just wouldn't give up. Perseverance was one of his greatest assets. So he would just keep trying. He would never give up. Very fast. Try, work rate, positive.
And as a coach, that's something you look for in your players. The willingness to persevere over any situation, because any situation can arise in a game.
Definitely, he was a leader in that aspect. So things like that, even if they're not given the natural gifted talent, we need players like that, because other players will follow their example. And he was one of those players that the kids would look up to because of his ambition and all that he wanted to achieve.
Now, one of your teammates, Sebastian, described him as one of the greatest human beings he's ever met. And looking back on your relationship with him, and on and off the field, him as a teammate, him as a person, him as a friend, a son, a brother, would you say that statement is true?
Yeah, he wasn't wrong about that at all. He was just always the kindest, he always wanted to cheer you up no matter what. He always wanted to improve you as a person and as a soccer player.
Did he improve you as a person?
He did.
In what way?
He was just always like, whenever I was in a bad mood, or whenever something wrong happened, he'd always just make jokes, like laugh about it and just say, yo, let's move on, let's go out, let's do something, and that's it. It doesn't matter. And that's something that I took from him when he passed. He just left that like don't worry that much about stuff, just be happy, and then everything will just fit.
When you look at the way this team kind of used the loss and you used it to kind of strengthen you guys as a unit, do you think Max would be proud?
I think Max would. Someone asked me that question. They asked me the same exact question.
Yeah.
When I got interviewed for the final. And I honestly didn't know what to respond at that time, but now now he would, and he'd tell us that he was proud of us, and he'd just be so happy to see us do something so amazing.
How was Max as a friend, and how was he as a teammate?
As a friend, he was something that you see in movies, pretty much.
In what way?
That he was always there for the good or the bad. It's very cliche, all of this that I'm saying about him.
Yeah.
But it's weird because it's true. It was completely true, and I guess
So he was extremely loyal.
He was loyal. He was always helping. He cared just about helping people. He always put people before him. I don't know. It was just he gave off a good vibe.
So when you look back on the team season, and when you look back on your growth as a person, as an individual, do you feel like Max would be proud of you, of the person that you're becoming?
Yeah, I'd like to say he would, because in the time since, situations have come up, and I've definitely shown the lessons that he taught me by staying calm, being cool-headed, walking away, being more passive, not always going for confrontation.
The funniest story that I have with Max was probably maybe 3 years ago. We had a tournament in Orlando, and I was staying with him in his room, and it was 4 of us in that room, and we did horrible in that tournament. We lost every single game 3-0. So we went back to the hotel, and they told us to go upstairs and to meet in the hallway because the coach wanted to talk to us. Everyone was in the hall, and Max was nowhere to found. He was gone. No one knew where he was. So then we found him in the shower. He was taking a shower while everyone was speaking to the coach outside. The coach goes inside the room and grabs him from inside the bathroom. He's like, "You gotta come now." So everyone's outside. He's in a towel, completely wet, while the coach is just screaming at us. And then out of nowhere, he just turns around, drops his towel, and just runs down the hall. Just runs. And that's just a memory that I'm just gonna have forever. That was by far the funniest.
Does that kind of sum up Max as a person?
Yeah, completely. He's the only person that will do that. The only person that will get into a shower when we have a team meeting or something. He was honestly the only person that will ever do that, and that's just how he was.
So how did it feel for you, as someone who played with him as well, to be able to dedicate your entire season to him, and then to have the season end the way that it did, the way it was dedicated just to him?
Well, Max was a very big part of the team, so when the whole incident happened, we just decided to play for Max, and we had shirts for Max. We incorporated Max's family in a lot of our games. So we just before every game, we give a little prayer as a team in the name of Max. And it just like, it served us as some motivation, it served us like as something to play for, something to win for. And it just so happened we won states that same season. And we really did incorporate his family. Like they would write to every game, we were basically brothers to little man Luis. And yeah, he was just part of our family, and it just hurt us a lot. So like we just played for him. We knew he was with us, accompanying us to every game.
I think it was more of finding out who we were both on and off the field. We kind of played similar positions, so at some points I would help him, he would help me. We kind of grew close on the team, and then outside of practice we would hang out. I'd go to his house, he'd come to mine. After school I'd see him. It would seem a lot, honestly.
How was he different on the field versus off the field, and then how was he similar versus on the field and off the field?
I think when you look at someone in their, I want to say almost natural habitat, you kind of see their true self. The kid was, honestly, to say it, like a goofball. He had like a bubbly personality, like I'd say like life of the party. Like anyone around him, you could see anyone around him would smile just because he'd smile. He'd kind of be like one of the loudest in the group. He'd kind of just talk always. Everything he had to say like had purpose, had meaning. And I think talking to him and seeing him on the field, you saw that too because of the energy he had whenever he was on the field, whether it was 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 90 minutes. The kid gave everything he had just because he had that energy inside him. He had that will.
Was it hard for the both of you going from playing with him and then having a season where he's not there and knowing you're dedicating the season to his memory? Was it hard being on that field knowing that he's there in spirit only?
It was certainly hard when everything happened at first, but then we kind of learned he was with us, he was protecting us, we were dedicating everything to him, we'd speak to him before the game. We just never basically...
He was always on the field.
He was always with us.
He was always watching over us.
Describe him is like he always had a smile.
Yeah.
Like even when he was like hurt, you never knew he was like in pain. He always put a smile on his face.
What was the one thing you kind of admired most about him on the field that you kind of want to be like when you're as a soccer player yourself?
He was like very quick at soccer, so he would like always know when someone was open. He like without taking a look, he would just know that he was there, and like he knew how to like dribble, and his skills were very good.
For us, we missed him on the field, but he was always part of us. Like we played with him and played for him.
Now you did something very, very special for him. After the season, you had a jersey, his jersey, and all the players signed it with messages and funny inside jokes, and you presented it to his mom. Why was that such an important thing for you to do, and how did it feel to be able to give her that gift?
Well, I remember my sophomore year we were the only two sophomores on the team, on Colin's team. That was the first year we won states with Colin. And I just remember like the moment the whistle blew and like we had won, the last PK went in. We just ran to the field and he just kept telling me we're gonna come back next year and the following, win every single year and come back for the ring. Because this is our first ring, we're gonna have two more.
So he did the whole LeBron, not one,
Yeah.
not two, not three thing with you.
He was going for all of them. So when we realized he wasn't gonna be able to, suffice his dream, the fact that we did it for him, it just meant the world to me. Because I was on the field, like I was with him the moment it happened at first, and he was with me the moment it happened at last. So the entire season was always for him. Like every game, everything we did, like my quote on the t-shirt said, all we ever did and all we will ever do, it's in your name.
So you feel like you honored his legacy?
Yeah, and giving that to Christine, obviously, it was a very emotional moment. There was a little speech that I gave before, and I just felt that like our mission was accomplished, that we had finally finished what we started at the beginning of the season.
You didn't play with him, but you've known him for a very long time.
Yeah.
So what was it about him as a person? Because you guys have been friends since elementary school, and it's very rare to keep a friend that long.
I mean, it was Max. Like, he was great. Like, he was easygoing. Once you like met the kid, first of all, it was easy to get to know him. You know, like he was just like he'd be like easy to talk to. Always something to talk about. Funny kid. Always like I had him in a lot of my classes throughout the years. Made the classes a lot better. Like always like something to like look at. You had a bad grade in something, you look at him and you just laugh. Like it's like you could laugh about it. You know, like something like get over it. Like he was like really positive attitude always like towards life, and like I don't know, it's something that I learned from him, I think.
I mean, has a few words to say. He has something here he wants to present. So guys, give him some minutes. Let him
Alright, so again, as you all know, this season was just one goal, get the state championship and make Max proud again. All of us here put in so much effort, even though the kids that didn't know him didn't get a chance to meet him, the pleasure of meeting him. Willie Haku, Chichi. Like we all put a lot of effort this season. And Willie took a shirt, number 12, and his name. And the last day everyone put some nice words. And we just want to present it for Maxi. I know he's gone, and I'm gonna miss it. But he's always gonna be here with us, alright? Every single one of us. And hopefully, you, Christina loves this, the video record did. It really meant everything for us. So thank you all of you. And this is for Maxi and Christina. This is for you guys. We love you so much. All of you. If you ever need anything, you have every single one of us. We're always going to be here for you, no matter what. We all love you with all our hearts, and you mean everything to us.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys.
You think you'd be proud of the impact he's left behind in so many different avenues, whether soccer and off the field and, you know, in law? Do you think that he would be proud of the legacy that's left in his name, in his memory?
He would definitely be proud. And I guess we all have to be proud because he doesn't do it. The legacy he didn't do it like to create a legacy. Obviously, he just was himself all throughout, and then he just touched everyone. So yeah, I think he'd definitely be proud.
It wasn't a big shock, but at the same time, I was surprised to see the mayor of Weston as well show up to the vigil, and I believe we even passed a law like regarding skateboarding safety because of Max to make sure this type of accident would never happen again.
What is your favorite memory of your brother?
For me, like Max has been like he's the one that I shared my childhood with. So like it was like since like we were babies till like he left. So it's like I don't know, it's weird, and like in his room and everything, it's like my room is like right next door. So every time like if I go to the bathroom, it's like he's not here anymore.
What was one thing you kind of admired as him as an athlete, like as a soccer player, you being one yourself, that you kind of have taken and molded your game after?
I think like his like not giving up. He's always like pushed himself. He always wanted to go like to the Weston FC, the academy. That was like his goal, and he got to like the pre-academy before he passed away. So like that was like a big achievement for him. Like he was really happy when he got there.
Definitely the fun activities I had with him, and like all the things he would do to like make my life better and his friends.
And how do you both feel about the impact he's left on his high school, his team, the city of Weston, the city you guys live in? Are you surprised by that impact, or did you kind of know that he had that star power in him?
Like he was very like sociable, so like he had like a big group of friends, but like the support and love that everybody like brought was, I did not think it was like this huge. Like,
And it means a lot to you guys, huh?
yeah.
So what is something you're gonna miss most about him?
Being able to talk to him, like, every day.
Is that something that you struggle with, not having him just right there at arm's reach with your phone, not being able to, yeah. What's something that you wish that you can convey to everybody that you want them to know about Max if they had to remember him in some way?
That no matter what he was going through, he always put everyone first.
Is that something that you've kind of taken and applied to your own life, would you say? That you've taken that quality that Max had, and knowing that life really is so short, can be so short, kind of.
Yeah. You kind of just have to be happy and kind of put this stuff aside and just focus on him.
Después que murió, claro, leí muchas cosas que él escribió y él sí me las decía, pero no sabía que las escribía. Pero después cuando las veo muchas cosas que él escribía, de hecho hay uno que yo se lo mandé al coach Colin porque él escribió hasta las posiciones que le iban a ganar es el champion que ganaron y había muchas cosas que él como que pareciera que supiera, o sea, y él hasta sabía que él iba a morir joven.
It was awesome. Like, I definitely miss him. It's hard sometimes. But, he was a good friend.
A lot of his teammates would describe him as a goofball, but he would have a heart of gold. If you ever needed something, he was there for you. Would you say that was an accurate description of who he was as a person?
Definitely, because even if I was having like the worst of days, or if he was having the worst of days, and I'd go to him for something, he would like put whatever he had on the side and would just attend to me and be like, just tell me anything that would make me feel better, and then we'd just like go and talk about whatever he was going through at the time.
What are you gonna miss most about him?
Everything from little things, you know, just hanging out, just him being there, just there. Soccer with him, just everything in general.
And what do you want people to know about him?
I want people to know that Max was not just a regular guy. Like everyone that has met him at least once in their life will say the same thing about him. You know, he's just a pure soul that cares and that's there for you. We'll always remember him as, you know, just a great friend and an amazing person.
Max has left a lasting impression on them, on this school, on this community, in a great way. Sadly, because of how it happened, but in honor of him, the kids are doing great things because of him.
They don't remind me Max because Max is here. He's not in his organs was part of him, but he's in here and you know I don't think that I'm going to see in the other people's Max. I am happy that Max can help them, but Max is in here.
The team dealing with a huge loss, probably a lot of them never dealt with a loss to this magnitude before, but you still have a job to do, you still have a season to play. How were you able to kind of gather up your team and say it's okay to feel what you're feeling, but we still have a job, we still have a task at hand? How do you balance, you know, presenting them, you know, the task in front of them that we have to be able to do both? That's what it's our responsibility.
Well, in these situations, you can have a couple things happen. You can fold and cry, which is fine if you want to unfold up, or you can use it as a tool to fuel your energy and turn it into something positive. So I put it like that to the guys. If it was one of you, what would Max have done? Would he, you know, dedicate his season to you guys and give everything that? They absolutely, all of them are absolutely 100%. That's what he would do. So they made up their mind that they would dedicate their season to him. And from that day until the day the season was done, they gave 110% every game. I've never seen anything like that. And you could see it on the field. All the kids would tell you, everybody that was there would tell you that they left everything on the field. If we didn't win the state championship, I could still probably say that they all lose it and fuel them to do the best that they could on the field.
About Max, I think for someone who didn't know someone and watching a story about that person, I don't want you to learn about this kid. I don't want you to live your life learning about this kid. I want you to learn about the people around you, your close friends, the people you aren't as close with. Don't take them for granted. Actually care about them, because you never know when they're gonna leave.
I'm gonna build a snowman. Anymore, where we're gonna go, it's gonna happen. I'm talking to them ears too.
There you go.
What? Max is venting to vent for the snowman or whatever. Sound effects. I'm not saying. Right here, dude. You sound like a street spit. Doesn't have to be a snowman. Thank you.